Hey everyone, it's Becca, and today marks the 5-year anniversary of my YouTube channel. So in order to celebrate, I thought I would show you guys every mask I have ever made. So this video also kind of counts as the 600 subscribers special because I never actually made one at the beginning of the year, and I've been waiting to make one for the anniversary. So first of all, thank you for everybody who subscribed, who commented, anybody who just watches my videos. It has been a lot of encouragement to keep uploading, and I have quite a few new costumes planned. I've got a couple of videos I haven't uploaded yet, but those will be much later. And I'm thinking about doing more games because you guys voted on the poll. I only have 7 votes on the poll right now, but the majority is costume showcases and games right now. So just make sure you vote on the poll. I will just do the top rated one for now, and yeah, enjoy the video. So this box is filled with some of my first costume masks. I think they're all Five Nights at Freddy's, but so my first costume mask I ever made back in maybe 2015 or 2016, I can't remember, but I built all of these for like playing Five Nights at Freddy's in real life, I think. And I don't think I had a reference when I made these, so they might look a little weird. So, alright, let's just open the box. So, yep, these are all just like flat cardboard mask. I'm gonna take all these out of the box so we can see them better. Okay, these guys, yeah, I don't think I had a reference when I was making them, so they don't look much like the characters that much. So, this first one, yeah, I don't even know what to say about it. So, yeah, I did not have a reference at all, so this just looks like, what is that? It's falling apart. It's just a piece of cardboard at this point. Yeah, I don't need to say much about that. That's just terrible. So I made like little eye holes, but you can barely see through them. Like, barely. And I just had paper that I retied to tighten up my face. I don't think this can actually... No, it can't. Okay. But yeah, there's that. I don't know what that is. Let's just move on. That is the worst one I have, I think. Okay, so the next one is Freddy, and this one actually didn't turn out too bad. Except he's kind of withered Freddy because his ears fell off again. So this guy was my better one. I think I might have had a reference for this, but it's honestly one of the better looking ones. It barely has any, like, face shape. It's just kind of a blob with features on it, and they're not proportional at all. But this one actually, for when I built it, it was a lot better than the last ones, but as you can see, the colors aren't even circles, they're just squares, and that is pin. It's really bad. I didn't even add any like of the paper like I did for this monstrosity. I just used the cardboard so the colors look a bit weird. But, I mean, it works. He has like one of those, pilgrim hats instead of a top hat, but hey, it's better, I guess. I think I made Foxy next. And once again, I actually might have had a reference for this one. But here he is, once again, missing an ear. Now this one, I feel like this one was a lot better. It was definitely one of the creepier ones. He kind of has glasses. I don't know why I didn't give him an eye patch, but he has glasses, I guess. I painted all the teeth, or I just used Sharpie. And let me find the ear. I don't even know where that is. Here we are. Here's the other ear. So yeah, I actually feel like this one isn't that bad. It's just, I don't know, it's flat. It's just flat, so once again you can't see through the eyes at all, but the yellow makes it really nice, I guess. I don't know. Next one. So then I made Chica, which, I mean, honestly, this is the best looking one out of the 4, I think. Let me do a side by side with all of them. With all their missing ears. Yeah, so Chica looks the best because I think I have a reference for this one. Barely. But here's the full Five Nights at Freddy's 1 mask that I made back in, like, I told you, like 2015, I think. And honestly, in the dark, these guys were a little spooky, but these are just the derpiest things I've ever seen. These next few ones are the much better looking ones. I don't know what happened with the first few. I guess I just did not have any references, but these ones actually look okay, besides the proportions being all out of place. So, Toy Bonnie. I used the paper on this one, so it looks a lot better. The back's still cardboard. You can still barely see. This was the beginning of the visibility problems in my mask. So, this one I used more paper because it looks a lot better than the Sharpie. And I don't know, I like this one. It's just, like its face went like, wow. So, I made Toy Freddy next, and he's just held together by tape. And I used the same cardboard as I did for the classic Freddy, but this one wasn't too bad. It was, I did like the dark eyes, I guess. I mean, what are those? I don't know where those come from. But yeah, this is where I started to get better with them. Once again, I made like the eye holes a lot smaller for some reason, and I put them down here instead of like up here, so it looks a little out of place if you can see through them. But this one looks a lot better. I can see some improvement with my later ones. Like when I actually started using fabric to make them like 3D shape, they're a lot better, but the cardboard ones, they're still pretty good. I would never use these, but they're pretty kind of nostalgic because I made them years ago. But yeah, there's Toy Freddy. And then I made Toy Chica. Or no, I don't know if this is the correct order, but I'm just gonna go on the order that I think it is. So, Toy Chica. Oh my gosh, this looks awful. Why do I put the mouths like so low on the face? I don't know, but yep, there's that. Not much to say about it. It looks really bad. I never made the creepy variant. I just made the like this. So there's that. Alright, this next one I made is my favorite out of the bunch because I used like different materials other than cardboard and paper, and it turned out pretty good. And that one was the Mangle. So this one was my definite favorite. It, like my face was poking through the sides when I wore it, but it still looks okay. Maybe it doesn't look good, but like it looked good at the time. And I had these pieces of yarn that I put on it, which honestly, it added so much to it because it looked like wires hanging down. And it makes me want to use yarn as wires because they have a lot of movement. Like, I don't know, it just adds animation, I guess, to like the design instead of straight wires, if you know what I mean. But this one was, I added a second row of teeth, and you can only see through the one eye, but I made it a lot larger. Let me see if I can, yeah, you can see a lot better. I just cut eye holes. I never knew about like mesh or anything. But yeah, so this one was really good. Creepy in the dark. Not much more to say about that. And then I also made a bunch of other pieces. Like I made, okay, these are really bad, but I made like these for a Halloween costume. They're made of paper and staples and pipe cleaners, so there's that one. And I also made a lot of props for these guys. So for Mangle, I made quite a few. I made like an eyeball to put on the side, just because like in the game you can kind of see it. So like there's that. I just put in the. Well, I don't think I actually knew the concept of gloves, so I made this thing. It just goes on your hand like that, and then I made a thumb piece somewhere. Hold on. Alright, so I actually am missing a lot of pieces, but like I had like a thumb piece, so it looks kind of like a glove, but this is terrible. Like, okay. These are better as display, honestly. But, yep, there's that one, and then I made a bunch of other gloves. So, for Foxy, I had, like, seriously, what is this? Look at this. It looks like I'm just, like, that looks so bad. So I made that for Foxy. When I made Bonnie, I made like a really weird looking one, so I tried to do like the joints in between, but I never colored them in, so it just looks really weird. And I think the strap broke on that one. Yeah. Okay, the ones I found for Chica are just kind of cursed, because like, look at this. Imagine seeing that thing running at you at like 3 in the morning. It is, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't have a reference at the time, so this is what I had. I don't know what I'm doing. So there's also just a box. Here's the rest of what I had. Just, like we had posters that we put on the wall for like the office. Here's, oh yeah, I found the rest of Mingle's hand, so it looks like that, but just gloves. I made a tiny desk for some reason. Yep, that's about it for like this bin. This is, oh wait, I actually have one more mask that I forgot about, and this one makes the most sense as its costume, and that is the marionette, except this one looks really wonky. I thought it was just an oval shape, but apparently it's like, let me grab my 3D printed mask that I have. So I recently made like a 3D pin mask of the marionette, and you can see how different the face shapes are, and like why this one looks so wrong. But this mask actually made the most sense for being a flat one. It's not really accurate, but it still looks alright. I don't know. Now we're moving on to the more accurate mask that I made out of fabric when I was learning how to sew. And the first one I have here is Bonnie. So these are all very similar. They're very square because I was just learning how to make patterns. But basically I just took, I made like a cube and I made them double-sided, and then I kind of rounded off the corners. And then I stuffed each piece so it's like, it's a little bit more roundish because I stuffed the pieces, but it's still very square. The jaw is just like a U shape that I sewed double-sided, no special like darts or anything because I was still learning. I never actually finished this one. I never added any eyes, and I never finished the ears, so it looks a little silly right now. But the jaw is just, like, the fabric is what keeps it hinged. And for being just a square, it actually looks pretty good. So after I made my Bonnie mask, then I decided I was going to make the rest of them. So I then made Chica in the same style, and this one kind of backfired. She is a literal cube. I don't know why these are so square. I guess because I stuffed them with a cardboard to give it a stronger structure, which honestly was not the best idea because it's a cube. I mean, that's all I need to say. Also, this one's in a lot of disrepair. I don't know where the bottom jaw went. I don't know where the eyes went. And yeah, let me just show you what this looks like on. After I made Chica, I made a Freddy mask. And this one honestly looks the best out of all of them. As you can see, I have two different eyes here. I actually went through a lot of upgrades with this guy, and I think he looks the best because I stuffed the cheeks a lot more to give it a more defined shape. Also, something I did with this was one of my first few movable jaw masks. I actually have two that I made before this, which I will be showing you in a minute, but another feature of this that I really like is, let me see if I have it. So watch this. Yep, so this was my first costume that I made with a blinking eye mech. So these would sit behind the eyelid. I can hold it up right. Hold on. So the eyes would sit like that. And when I pull this down, it looks like he's blinking. It didn't really work the best because it looks like he's constantly tired or something. So I eventually just replaced them with these cardboard inserts. I think this one still has... No, the mechanism for this one broke, but it's basically, it's similar to how I made the Mangle eye blink, but I don't think I showed you that in the video, so I can do a separate video on making a mechanism like this. But yeah, that was the coolest feature on this guy. This is what the inside looks like. You can kind of see how I made the mechanism. Yeah. But the separate jaw, I just put ribbons to hold it together, so let me show you what this looks like on. Okay, so the final one I made for this kind of style of mask, before I started making more, like, shaped mask, is Foxy. And this looks nothing like Foxy. Yep, I don't know if I had a reference for this, I might have, but this one's actually more rounder, and I don't know why these are so large, it looks really weird. But the jaw does move, it's attached by a ribbon, and I just pull tightly around my head to make it move like that. This one actually has a see-through fabric, so I don't know if you can see through it that well. Yeah, you can't really tell that you can see through it. It's very dark, but you can still see through it. I redid this one. It used to look a lot, like less like the character, so let me show you what this looks like on. So that's it for these kind of masks. I used the same technique to make all of them, and I made them all around 2016 or 17. And I think for this kind of pattern that I used, Bonnie and Freddy turned out the best, but the other two just look a little wonky. So let's move on to some of my newer masks. I say newer, but I made them around 2017, so this next mask I have is actually fabric, but it's only one layer of fabric. So this one is Lolbit, and I made it with a single layer of fabric. So it's much thinner and more portable, like I can just scrunch that up. I did stuff the mouth though and use cardboard, and I used cardboard for the teeth. This one I made in 2018, I think, of December. And it's a pretty cool mask. I mean, I used the see-through material for this one. The faceplates don't open, but it still has a cool design to it. Yeah, and the faceplates are actually marked with, like, the seams. So I thought this one was really cool. I have a full costume with it, but I don't have any videos, and I don't know if the costume still fits. I did actually find another cardboard mask that I made. However, this one is a lot better than the fabric one. So this is my only 3D cardboard mask I think I've made. It's very simple, no features, just you can see through the eyes. And I did actually have a movable lower jaw. I don't know what happened to it though. I think I'm gonna throw it away. But I'll show you what it looks like on. So here is my Mangle mask. I updated this for a Comic-Con that I went to. I uploaded the video on that. Basically all I did to update it was add a blinking eye mechanism. I redid the ears. I made these out of like half of an Easter egg. And I redid the mouth. So now it has a metal endoskeleton. Oh, and I also finished the back because I never actually did that. So I connected this piece with a ladder stitch so it's harder to see the seams. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. And if you want to see a full video on this, just let me know, because I redid the entire costume basically. So moving on to some of my more recent masks, I built one for a Renaissance fair, and that one was a Skyrim guard mask. So I actually made the full costume. It's pretty simple. The mask was the most complicated part. But yeah, it's all fabric and foam. So this is a really cool fabric that I found that looks like metal. And I kind of did a rush job on this mask, so it looks a little messy on the seams, but the metallic fabric kind of hides it. I also never painted the pieces of foam, so it looks a little interesting. I made these like chainmail bits with just layers of foam, and the top half has a lot of foam details. But yeah, Skyrim is another game that I really enjoy playing, so if you ever want to see a series of me playing Skyrim, I already have a lot of progress, but I could do some quests and such if you want to see that. So yeah, there's my Skyrim guard mask. Also, I never showed you the inside. I just used some foam board as the structure. So next, I made a custom Mandalorian helmet, and I didn't have a pattern for this, so I kind of had to figure out how it would work, and there's a lot of seams on it. But this one turned out really well. I made it out of just a workout mat, some foam board, some Mod Podge, spray paint, and I think this is a thin vinyl, so that's why it looks very crinkly. But yeah, this was one of my better masks. I made it for the first Comic-Con that I went to, actually. And it turned out really well. I really like this one. I have the full costume, so here's a photo of that from when I was at the Comic-Con. It took only 2 weeks to make this, mostly because I couldn't figure out a costume. But yeah, I really like this one. Final mask that I have to show you is one that I remade 3 separate times. And that one is my Withered Bonnie mask. So I recently remade this one for Comic-Con, and it originally started out as a regular Bonnie mask that I made with the cardboard frame, and you can see the original fabric. But I didn't like the way that one looked because it was really inaccurate. I made that one to have the same blinking eye mech as Freddy. But it just didn't look right, so I turned it into a Withered Bonnie. And that one was too small as well. So here is the final recreation that I made for Comic-Con. As you can see, I used the same method that I did for my original mask. I sewed 2 sides and stuffed it to make it look fuller. And these are just the original ears, that's why the fabric looks a bit different. But this one has a moving jaw. It has an endoskeleton. And this fabric is all see-through, so it's really easy for me to see. But the best feature on this is the eyes glow. And they are kind of broken, so it actually looks pretty cool. But, hold on, if this will stay. Whenever I move it around, it looks like he's watching you. So let me show you what this looks like on. I have one more that I built years ago. And yep, it's the Bucket Man. And that concludes every costume I have not shown you guys yet. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for 5 years. I am very happy that I started YouTube when I did and started filming my costumes, because if I never did, I probably wouldn't have a lot of documentation of how I built them. So yeah, this was a fun video to make. Also, don't forget to vote on the poll. I put up a few things that I want to do, and a lot of you are voting towards games and costumes right now. I only have 7 votes in, but I want to at least wait till 20 till I decide what my primary uploading schedule is going to look like for the winter. So yeah, don't forget to vote, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.